The View is back at it, and this time, Joy Behar took the drama to a whole new level, absurdly accusing Elon Musk of being an apartheid supporter since childhood. Claims so outlandish that the producers had to step in and force her apology. Today, we're breaking down Behar's outrageous statements, the firestorm they ignited, and the real story behind Musk's upbringing, all while keeping you in the loop on the truth.
Right now with this situation, because he only ran to stay out of jail.
Yeah.
You know, that was mainly his. Well, I think that's true. I don't think he ever wanted really the responsibility of the job. He's not really bright enough to handle the job. And Elon Musk kisses his butt and strokes his tiny ego or big ego, whatever it is. And he doesn't get to he can take a nap while the guy who was not born in this country, who was born under apartheid in South Africa, so has that meant
against reality at every turn. And this episode was no exception. Charlie Kirk was quick to drop clips on X, and Elon fired back with "Maybe it's time to sue." Peak trolling that would be priceless to watch if they actually freaked out over a lawsuit. Not too long ago, ABC forked out $15 million.
Right.
An enemy of the United States. He was pro-apartheid, as I understand it.
He's a naturalized citizen.
Right.
Now.
He's a naturalized
Now he's
citizen.
a naturalized citizen.
Oh, really? How did he do that? Did he come over the border legally?
He had an H-1B visa, I
He
believe.
flew in.
Yeah, he allegedly
And there it is, the grand trifecta of nonsense, gift-wrapped in smug delivery in under 60 seconds. Joy Behar reinvented Trump's motives, smeared Elon Musk, and threw in a baseless jab at his citizenship. That's not commentary. It's a first-class ticket straight to fantasy land.
Since I love this show. Go ahead, Joy.
I was just going to say that now I'm getting some flack because I said that Musk was pro-apartheid. I don't really know for sure if he was. He grew up at that time when apartheid was in full bloom before the great Nelson Mandela fixed that. He was around at that time, but maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. He might have been a young guy, too.
Might have been.
So don't be suing me, okay, Elon? They're allowed to say any lie they want, but we have to be really strict. That's why this show's
This is what a bubble of pure misinformation looks like. When it comes to Elon's visa saga, the full story isn't completely clear, but reports show he first arrived in the US as a Canadian citizen, started on a student visa, moved to an H-1B, and finally became a naturalized citizen in 2002. Think about that. If they can't even get the basics right, why trust anything else they spout? Meanwhile, Joy's resume is basically *The View* plus hot takes, while Elon is out there revolutionizing industries, launching rockets, and literally turning humanity into a multiplanetary species. And yet, after the commercial break, the producers had to step in and make Joy apologize.
They're also doing the same thing where they're completely distorting who you are, and people are going along with it. And just like we're talking about Trump derangement syndrome, people have Elon derangement syndrome. I see it.
Yeah.
I see where people can't see the forest for the trees.
Right. And it's like I'm the same person that I was a year ago. Like I didn't suddenly become a completely different human.
Right.
If you read the sort of legacy mainstream media, their propaganda stream is that I am a completely different human.
Right.
But I didn't get like a brain transplant, in a year. So, and if you say like 2 years ago, I was like a hero of the left. So how can I go from hero to villain at age 53 suddenly?
MSNBC, CNN.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what it is.
Right, the truth matters to them, except when it doesn't, which is basically always. They push back against reality at every turn, and this episode was no exception. Charlie Kirk was quick to drop clips on X, and Elon fired back with "Maybe it's time to sue." Peak trolling that would be priceless to watch if they actually freaked out over a lawsuit. Not too long ago, ABC forked out $15 million to settle a similar lawsuit with Trump, proving these networks can and do pay for their mistakes. So maybe round 2 is on the horizon, and this time, they'd be facing a very different kind of titan. Elon, of course, anticipated this, noting it during his latest appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience.
You had a rough childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, like rough and tumble, rough childhood. Plenty of fights, and a father who was a difficult creature to contend with. Okay, what did that do for you? And are you grateful for it, or are you unhappy about it?
Well, I guess you never know the things that really made you who you are today. So at the end of the day, am I on net grateful for my life? I am. And perhaps even for the hard things. Because those hard things, I learned from them. Because I was almost beaten to death within an inch of my life at one point.
Right, that counts.
Yeah.
That definitely counts as a
It wasn't just
physical altercation.
a few closer.
Left treated Elon like a modern-day hero, showering him with praise and acting as Tesla's unofficial marketing team championing electric cars, hyping SpaceX and making him the poster child for the future. Obama's 2015 State of the Union was even called one giant hug for Musk by the Washington Post and he openly supported Hillary's 2016 campaign, but now that he's crossed to the other side, they're pulling out all the stops to demonize him, using the same playbook they've applied to anyone who's defied them, most notably Donald Trump. The tactics are so formulaic, it's like they're reading from a script. Since Joy dredged up Elon's childhood, let's hear it straight from the man himself.
Elon Musk, his father. Elon doesn't talk to Elon Musk anymore, his father, nor does Kimball. It's been years. And Errol doesn't even have Elon's email. So a lot of times Errol will be sending me emails. And Errol had one of those Jekyll and Hyde personalities. He was, a great mind of engineering and especially material science. But he also would go into these dark periods in which he would just be psychologically abusive. And of course, Mae Musk says to me, his mother, who divorced Errol early on, said the danger for Elon is that he becomes his...
And life was far from easy. His ex-wife shared in a TED Talk that as a child he dreaded school because other kids would chase him home and pelt him with soda cans, while his mother spoke openly about the difficult home life and the abuse he suffered from his father, Elon Musk, a major factor in their divorce. New York Times profile also noted that he was bullied at school for calling out a white student using an anti-black slur. So, Joy, next time you're itching to make wild claims, maybe do a little homework first. To wrap things up, here's a clip of Elon's biographer discussing his father.
They're also doing the same thing where they're completely distorting who you are, and people are going along with it. And just like we're talking about Trump derangement syndrome, people have Elon derangement syndrome. I see it.
Yeah.
I see where people can't see the forest for the trees.
Right. And it's like I'm the same person that I was a year ago. Like I didn't suddenly become a completely different human.
Right.
If you read the sort of legacy mainstream media, their propaganda stream is that I am a completely different human.
Right.
But I didn't get like a brain transplant, in a year. So, and if you say like 2 years ago, I was like a hero of the left. So how can I go from hero to villain at age 53 suddenly?
MSNBC, CNN.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Errol was a complicated figure, so much so that he fathered 2 children with his stepdaughter. After his parents split, young Elon chose to live with his dad. A decision he later admitted was a mistake, saying, "He used his psychological ways on me. It turned out to be a really bad idea." When Elon decided to move to the US, his father told him, "You'll be back in a few months. You'll never be successful." Yet, that negativity couldn't have been more wrong. Instead of letting it crush him, Elon proved his father spectacularly wrong, becoming the richest man in history, not just succeeding but soaring to become one of the most influential people on the planet. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's get a conversation going in the comments below. And if you want your friends to get coverage from an independent source like us, please share this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next